I'm Kyle. Welcome to my presentation of the Citadel Skulls set. I will do a quick unboxing and then show you how to use its contents to pimp up this rhino. You can't call yourself a Chaos Lord if you don't sport a ride, and skulls for the Skull Throne will not deliver themselves. Okay, let's see now what you get in the box. We get 4 sprues worth of skulls of various shapes and sizes. Apart from a heap of human skulls from a spectrum of states of destruction, I see some orc skulls, crude skulls, bloodletter heads, some giant monster skulls and more. Believe it or not, there are even some Genestealer skulls. Wow. But watching raw sprues is boring. Let's take the skulls for a spin. First, let's have a look at the rhino. I put this rhino together as a part of the Fate of Connor campaign challenge, as I needed a tank for my Chaos army. Box standard rhinos are boring, so I had this idea for a demon engine sailing a sea of skulls. I later modified the idea to have a rhino possessed by a tentacled monster that devours living creatures, and thus has its hull/belly filled with skulls that are left after consumption. The tentacle and the mouth holes are made of green stuff and cocktail sticks. This is really easy and fun. There should be definitely more tentacles in 40k. I want a Shoggoth as a mount for Chaos. You can see on the inside how easy it is to bodge a mouth thing like this. And as I already mentioned, I painted the rhino for the tank week of the Fate of Connor campaign. So I left the top loose as I already knew that Citadel Skulls are coming, and I couldn't wait before the week, it ended. Now I want the skulls to fill this area. It would be very hard to paint them once they are glued inside, so I will glue them to a piece of cardstock instead. Paint them outside and only then insert the whole thing into the vehicle. I start by fitting a standard copy paper. This way I can get to the right shape easily by an iterative process. If it doesn't fit, I will cut it again. Here I cut too much in one place, but this is not a problem as I can copy the template just a little wider this time. A pencil comes handy both for pushing the paper inside and for marking corners to cut out. Once the template is perfect, I copy it to a thicker cardstock. It fits like a glove. The next step is to glue the skulls to the card. I start from the areas that will be visible from the mouth doors and the ramp, so that they look best from these angles. The skulls are turned in such a way that they look at the peeping Tom, so you. I marked some spots with a brown marker to leave place for the larger skulls. They have to be glued as the last touch, as they have many horns and bits that have to span over lesser skulls. I could theoretically glue them first, but then it will be difficult to squeeze the smaller skulls under the horns, so I did it this way. And after a while the rest of the skulls are glued to the base. I used the curved needlepoint tweezers as the skulls are slippery and they need to look upward for the skull carpet to look cool. You have to check if they fit, as some skulls may stick out and be in need of adjustment. Okay, they fit nicely, let's paint them. And I cut the boring painting part, as it is trivial, like a brown color as a base, then some skull-like white dry brushed all over it with some browny wash. Nothing to write home about. Just note that the cardstock edges were painted red to match the tank hull. And this is how the finished model looks like from above, with the inner skulls looking up. It would be much less impressive if they were looking sideways, what would be in theory a more natural position of their static equilibrium, but who cares. Now for the economically conscious of you, for this entire project I used roughly 1/4 of the human-sized skulls that come in the box, even less of the larger ones. So what is my opinion of the Citadel Skulls set? People often laugh at Games Workshop that all their models are covered from tip to toe with skulls. This is true of course, and still this set is pretty useful, and I recommend having one around with other basic hobby materials like static grass, sand, pebbles, and so on. Thank you for watching and have fun with your hobby.